Here are some strategies and tools developed earlier in the course that could be used to plan for and mitigate risks associated with all of the different lenses and how they relate to field safety. Pre-field work. In Module 1, we learned about risk assessments and how to distinguish between a perceived risk and an actual risk. This is an important tool to refer to because it can help us determine if, for example, a specific site of interest is a potential risk for a field team member due to racism, sexism, ableism, etc., being pervasive in STEM and field environments. This requires the team to do research on the field site and the culture surrounding the site prior to entering the field. Establish a clear code of conduct that everyone is aware of and ideally has contributed to ahead of going to the field. Set up communication structures ahead of fieldwork that can be used before, during, and after fieldwork to make sure everyone is on the same page about expectations and mitigating risk. During fieldwork, it's important to discuss codes of conduct, expectations, and norms to set the stage for expected behaviors amongst team members. This should be done at the start of fieldwork and revisited throughout. Have regular check-ins and debriefs to check on needs, as some accessibility needs may develop during fieldwork, using strategies discussed in Module 2. Take action as a bystander if you observe negative behaviors or interactions, which are strategies that we learned back in Module 4. Team leaders should address incidents of discrimination when they happen. Team members should use bystander intervention strategies. The team should have a plan for how to address harmful behavior and exit dangerous situations where physical harm could occur. Make sure no one goes to the field alone. Post-field work. After returning from the field, teams should always have a check-in and debrief the entire field experience. Reflect personally and as a team about what went well and what did not go well in planning, keeping everyone as a whole person safe in the field, and creating a welcoming, inclusive team environment. There are several resources readily available for us to use for guidance, many of which have been referenced throughout this discussion of lenses. Don't assume that because you've worked with someone with one identity, that you know everything you need to know about working with others who have similar identities. Read more deeply about considerations for keeping safe people with a variety of identity lenses and commit to continued learning through time. It is not any one individual's responsibility to educate others about their identities, but rather the onus of learning needs to be taken on by field team leaders and others on a team to create a welcoming environment for all. At several different points in this module, we've recommended having conversations with your team about identity-based topics. While the ideal is to create an environment where everyone feels safe being able to discuss challenging topics, sometimes the nature and reality of the content of these conversations is challenging. One tool that the Renee Crown Wellness Institute at the University of Colorado Boulder uses to initiate such conversations is using the Fumble Forward framework. This framework is linked in the toolbox and was developed by Donna Mejia. The framework opens up a sort of social contract within the group. When someone says, "I'm about to fumble with my words," the rest of the group replies, "Fumble forward." And it opens up a space for the group to work together to articulate how to refine what's been said. That said, some needs or requirements do not require refining by a whole group. They require implementing plans within fieldwork environments to make sure those needs are met. Another practice we recommend pairing with this Fumble Forward framework is to use the Ouch and Educate tool within your team. While more information on best practices for how to use this tool can be found in our toolkit, simply put, it is a tool that helps people make space for communicating in real time within a group setting when someone says something that didn't land right or is offensive to other people, and it helps them briefly communicate why it felt that way. This tool can help a group of people build and maintain a space that feels safe for everyone in it. We recommend exploring how to best implement this framework within your team following the course. As noted in the introduction to this module, people's identities are not one-dimensional. Any one individual has multiple intersecting identities, and this consideration of intersectionality is incredibly relevant to thinking about how to keep diverse field teams safe within the contexts of racism, gender discrimination, sexism, and ableism. Some people will likely have to navigate additional compounding challenges related to their various identities, more so than others. This is important to acknowledge and work towards addressing as a field team leader. This module is intended to be a starting point for growth in individual learning, and we highly encourage individuals to continue to self-educate on how to build a safe field environment for diverse field teams, especially with consideration of these lenses. We encourage you to explore the toolkit resources in this module and pursue further training on your own. We hope these lenses have been a useful way to conceptualize the various complexities and additional considerations of what it is important to think about in order to keep a diverse field team safe. We encourage you to think critically about how this relates to your current and future field teams and how you can actively participate in making fieldwork spaces safer for all.
So it's really important for us to consider the role that identity plays in our field work and when we're bringing groups out to the field, because you never know how someone's lived experiences, how their identities, how they present is going to affect their experiences in the field and how people perceive them and the work that they are doing.
Thanks for committing to learning a bit more about how to keep diverse field teams safe.